Stopping by Wood on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. As in many in many classes, often teachers teach them in a simple or a literal way. That is, the poem Stopping by Wood on a Snowy Evening does mean that to complete the destination or complete the goal in time or according to the time, which makes Stopping by Wood on a Snowy Evening, the poem by Robert Frost, as an allegory poem. But the poem has other meaning other than this main concept. Like, it is an antithesis of man nature and the environmental nature. Man nature includes man's duty, his responsibilities, his own selfish needs and materialistic need, whereas the environment nature is just like a comfort zone for a man, but no one or sometime man has to come out of his comfort zone and must find the uncomfortable path to complete his destination. So that makes stopping by wood in a snowy evening as a very symbolical poem. So if we start the poem, here we see it has written, whose woods these are? I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Here, my friends, here we cannot say he is a poet. Here, the speaker is a rider who is traveling on a road to his destination, but fortunately or unfortunately, he stopped in a wood. Here we find a little difference between wood and forest. That forest is a combination of all biodiversities. Many biodiversities combine to make a forest, but that we cannot say regarding the woods, because wood is sometimes it only consists of a particular species within a small area, like beside a pond or a lake, or anonymously or by mistakenly grown in a sideway area. Such places we can call as woods. A wood can be a forest. A, a wood is a part of a forest, but a forest is a whole total of many woods. That is the basic difference between woods and the forest. One must not get confused between wood, that is what we call with the like sal, mahogany wood, not these type of wood, but we can say a minimum jungle, a jungle which has a have which have some trees or having a biodiversity only singularly, not multiple biodiversity in such a place. So that is the basic difference. One must find a difference. Leaving to that part, we must now consider the main concept of this text. That here the writer or the speaker said that whose words these are, I think I know. So literally, if we speak, then it means that The rider knows the owner of the woods. Here, many theorists have interpreted it in a very different way. That is, woods, I know, refers to God or a nearby villager. Many such meanings have been defined. So, I'm defining it in a beyond way. So, what is my point? See, his whose words these are, I think I know. Means the person, the rider knows who is the owner of the wood. Whom we say that we know, the person who is more identical to you, who is more relative to you, who makes you feel comfortable. For example, when I just a example that when you are going side by side road in a dark way, in a dark time, and there a villager or a nearby person or your friend does meet, so you feel very comfort, some type of solace. So if a man is traveling in the darkest evening of the year, if a man is traveling in a somehow a problematic, somehow difficult path of their of his life, he always first of all try to find the comfort zone. Where in this poem, this I know refers to their comfort zone. But unfortunately, in our life progress, this I know or the comfort zone does not give us our ultimate goal or ultimate destination. That's why in the second line we see that the speaker has spoken that his house is in the village though. Yes, he is a nearby villager. He is somehow a local villager of the rider. Who knows? But he will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. So it is very interesting. It is very contrasting, because he will not see me stopping here. Who does not care of his own woods? Who does not care of his own property? But here the scene, the atmosphere of the poem is in the darkest evening of the year. It is the most one of the it is one of the most heinous scene or some ominous scene in this context, in this atmosphere. We somehow find a bad emotion, bad feeling regarding the darkest evening of the year. So, so the person, or if we say the side by villager, he doesn't care if the rider is watching or doing anything with his wood because he doesn't want to come out of his comfort zone and see who is who is watching and why he is watching. So generally, this is also one of the aspect we see in our daily life. Suppose if you fail in an exam, you feel depressed. So you go with to your friend, but that friend is preparing for other exams. He will listen to you. He will gossip with you. But he must ensure himself that he is in the comfort zone or he is well prepared for the upcoming exam instead of like you who is not preparing for the exam. So similarly, a comfort zone does similarly, a zone always try to capture, try to bond with us. He does not want to complete our goal just like a person who is preparing for upcoming exam, but not letting us to know that there is an upcoming exam, not making us believe that there is another exam upcoming. So, who does that thing? Who will do that thing? My friends, so who does that thing? Who will do that thing? My friends, in our daily life, parents also parents also unattach themselves with us. They try to they have their own separate goal. Even while completing our goal, there will come many type of comfort zone. Maybe it is a video game, maybe some friends, maybe some TV show. Who knows? Many so things are there which give us which gives us comfort in our sad time or in the darkest evening of the year time of in our daily life. But who makes ensure that we must complete our goal? Friends, it is our own conscience. So, here, my little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. Here, the rider has a companion, a little horse, his only companion. He's, no one is present over there but a horse. His only companion, my friends. Felt very queer, means felt very curious. Why? To stop without a farmhouse near? He felt, sir, why you have stopped in this snowy evening where there is no farmhouse near, where there is no our own destination? Why you have stopped here, sir? Such mindset the horse was having at that time. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest of the evening of the year. Here, my friends, woods, frozen lake, just give us an image that it is very cold and chilly time. That makes us give us an impression that it is a snowy evening and the darkest evening of the year. As in the earlier, in the earlier, in the earlier time, I have said, darkest evening of the year means a sad phase of a man. It not only here, if we say in a literal meaning, is the only the darkest evening or a big evening or a extended evening, just like in Indian culture, it is about Amavasya. But Amavasya means the bad omen somewhere in the Hindu culture. So similarly, in a man's life, in a human life, or in our daily life, such bad phase comes. Now we must find our own the one person finds comfort zone, like I have discussed, a TV show or a video game or a person you want to be with. These are all comfort zone, but they will not ensure you that you must complete your goal. So who will make ensure? Your own conscience, your own guide. So these characteristics does make similarity with the characteristics of a horse. So here the horse is a symbol of the guide, the our own conscience. The horse is making us to travel. The horse is making us to just guide the path to our ultimate goal. He is the only companion, our own conscience, just like a little horse in this poem. Our mind is also our conscience. Similarly, is saying, oh my friend, it is not your ultimate goal, it is not your farmhouse near, you have to go miles and miles. So in the next stanza, he gives his harness bell a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only others sound the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. Here, friends, we see that The horse gave a harness bell a sick. Where we find bell? In in a church. In a church where the when one get birth or one get married or one get died. So bell means time. Bell is the symbol of time. So here bell is the symbol of time. And giving a harness bell a sick means the time is ending. The time is now has been assigned to us is just coming to a nearby end. So the horse asked, "Sir, if there is a mistake, why you have stopped here, sir?" The only and the images like the only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. Here we give us an impression that yes, it is a slow evening, but also an isolation phase of a man, isolation time of a man. The woods. So in the last line, in the last stanza, which is most important because it is the it is the favorite quote of the ex-prime minister of India or the legendary man Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru that the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Mind miles to go before I sleep. Here, friends, we see we are evidencing the woods are lovely, dark and deep. Here, lovely. Our comfort zone are somehow comforting. It's lovely, but dark. Our comfort zone does grasp us, and deep. We cannot find ourselves releasing to that comfort from that comfort zone. But what keeping us? What keeping us beyond that? What keeping us up far from this comfort zone? A promise. A promise to us. A promise to another man. A promise to a family. A promise to a duty. That and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to before I sleep. Here we get two meaning. Literal meaning. Check. One person trying to travel miles and miles before he sleep or before he completes the race. Another we can say that generally we see when we are covering a long distance route, it some 100 kilometer makes a mile, another mile. It is just like a checkpoint. It is just like a standing point. Like you have completed up to this path, then we are completing another task, and you are again completing another task. In a man's life, in our daily life, we are also covering this mile. If a child covers his school path, then he covers 10th, then he covers 12th, then he covers UG, then he covers PG, then he covers MPhil, then he covers PhD, and then he becomes professor, then he marries. These are all miles, and at the end we are completing our duty and duty and duty, and at the end the sleep, the death. So this is the literal. This is one of the another aspect which of stopping by wood on a snowy evening. Here nature gives us a comforting feeling, comfort feeling. But a man's duty is avoiding him to feel the beauty of nature. That is the beauty of woods. What the speaker has said, woods are lovely, dark and deep. So after completing the poem we can also discuss somehow some other aspects of the poem. That is first symbolism that has been used in the poem. First of all, I know. Here I know is the symbol of a comfort zone. Second, horse symbolizes conscience and the guide of a man in his life. Then another symbol is the darkest evening of the year. It refers to the bad phase of a man. Then sleep. Sleep refers to a ultimate destination or death. Generally, symbolism refers to a particular symbol. to a particular that gives us a overall message. But because symbolism, then there is imagery means just like a painter paints paints portrait. Similarly, a poet, in his color of words, he tries to make a picture in his poem, so it known as imagery. That is frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year, the easy wind down a flake, woods are lovely, dark, and deep. Such gives us an impression that it is a snowy evening on winter evening. So, with this, I complete the poem "Stopping by Wood on a Snowy Evening" by Robert Frost. Thank you.